guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope everyone is having a good weekend so far. So in today's lesson, what I want to show you is how a user can flag their favorite places, okay, and filter the list to show just their favorites, their favorites, okay. To create this feature, we'll start by adding a switch to the list so users can focus on just their favorites, and then we'll add a star-shaped button that a user taps to flag a landmark as a favorite. So first of all, download the starter project, okay, and follow along with this tutorial, okay. So let's get started. Let me just resize the window just like that. And now we can begin, okay? So what we are going to do first is enhancing the list to show users their favorites at a glance, okay? So add a star to each landmark row that shows a favorite landmark. So open the starting point Xcode project and then select landmark row.swift in the project navigator, just like me, okay? After the spacer, okay, here, add a star image inside an if statement to test whether the current landmark is a favorite, okay? So in SwiftUI blocks, you use if statements to conditionally include views. So if landmark is favorite, okay, then select an image object just like that with the parameter, okay, this one, okay, star.fill, and here we're going to give it property which is image scale, okay, with a value of medium, okay. So because system images are vector based, we can change their color with the foreground color modifier, okay. So here, foreground color, and you're going to select yellow just like that, okay, cool. So we can try it out and see what we get. Okay, while the preview is loading, we're going to continue our work. So we can customize the list view so that it shows all of the landmarks or just the user's favorites. To do this, we'll need to add a bit of state to the landmark list type. State is a value or a set of values that can change over time and that affects a view's behavior, content, or layout. You use a property with the add state attribute to add state to a view, okay. So select landmark list .swift in the project navigator, then add a add state property called here show favorites only, okay, just like that. Show favorites only, and the first value will be false, okay. The initial value set to false. So refresh the canvas by clicking the resume button, okay. When you make changes to your view's structure, like adding or modifying a property, you need to manually refresh the canvas, okay. So filter the list of landmarks by checking the show favorites only property and each landmark dot is favorite value, okay. So here if self dot show favorites only, okay, then press the button Option Shift L, okay, then landmark dot is favorite, favorite, okay, and open then curly brackets, okay, and you can just copy paste that, yes, that into it, just like that, okay. Press resume again, okay. So now to give the user control over the list filter, you need to add a control that can alter the value of show favorites only, okay? You do this by passing a binding to a toggle control. A binding acts as a reference to a mutable state. When a user taps the toggle from off to on and off again, the control uses the binding to update the view state accordingly, okay? So create a nested for each group to transform the landmarks into rows, to combine static and dynamic views in a list, or to combine two or more different groups of dynamic views. Use the for each type instead of passing your collection of data to list. Okay, so here change the value to true, and then here okay, here you can simply change it by for each, okay. And here you can call a list, okay, just like that. And now we are simply copy paste that into it, just like that, okay. Okay, let me check if it's all good. Normally yes. Okay. Add a toggle view as the first child of the list view, passing a binding to show favorites only. You use the $prefix to access a binding to a state variable or one of its properties, okay. So here toggle, okay, is on, so $show favorites only, yes, and then we can delete this parameter and open curly brackets, just like that, okay, with an object of text saying favorites only. Okay, cool. So use the live preview and try out this new functionality by tapping the toggle, okay. We are going to pursue till it's charging, okay. So to prepare for the user to control which particular landmarks are favorites, we'll first store the landmark data in an observable object. So as you can see, it's working correctly, okay. So an observable object is a custom object for your data that can be bound to a view from storage in SwiftUI's environment. SwiftUI watches for any changes to observable objects that could affect a view and displays the correct version of the view after a change, okay. So create a new Swift file, okay, named user data .swift, user data.swift, okay. Declare a new model that conforms to the observable object protocol from the combined framework. So here, first of all, we are going to import the combined framework, and then we're going to create a new class. Okay, final class user data to be type of observable object, just like that. Okay, and then we can delete all of these lines, we don't need them. Okay, add stored properties for show favorites only and landmarks along with their initial values. Okay, so here var show favorites only, which is false, and then var landmarks is equal to landmark data. Okay, cool. An observable object needs to publish any changes to its data so that its subscribers can pick up the change. Add the at published attribute to each property in the model. Okay, so at published. Okay, another one, so add published. Okay, cool. So now that we've created the user data object, you need to update your views to adopt it as the data store for your app. Okay, so in landmark list, okay, replace the show favorites only declaration with an add environment object property and add an environment object modifier to the preview. So here we can write environment object var user data to be type of user data. Okay, cool. Then okay, here I'm going to add a property which is environment object. Okay, with an object of user data, just like that. Okay, replace the uses of show favorites only by accessing the same property on user data. Okay, so actually you just have to add user data, just like that, and also here user data, and normally we are good to go. Okay, perfect. So use user data dot landmarks as the data when creating the for each instance. Okay, so here user data dot landmarks. Okay, fine. In scene delegate .swift, add the environment object modifier to the landmark list. Okay, here environment object, okay, with an object of type user data, just like that. Okay, cool. So update the landmark detail view to work with the user data object in the environment. Will use landmark index when accessing or updating the landmark's favorite status so that you're always accessing the correct version of that data. Okay, so here add environment object, okay, var user data to be type of user data, just like that. Okay, then we are creating var landmark index to be type of integer, just like that. Okay, cool. Open curly brackets, and inside you're going to write user data dot landmarks dot first index where okay, just like that, $0 dot id is equal to landmark dot id. Okay, just like that. Okay, here landmark detail. Okay, we are going to write environment object to be type of user, just like that. Okay, cool. Then switch back to landmark list dot swift. Okay, and turn on the live preview after clicking on resume. Cancel. Okay, so it's done. Okay, to verify that everything is working as it should be. Okay, what's going on? Preview live. Okay, so the landmarks Paris app can now switch between a filtered and unfiltered view of the landmarks, but the list of favorites landmarks is still hard-coded. To allow the user to add and remove favorites, you need to add a favorite button to the landmark detail view. Okay, so in landmark detail.swift, embed the landmark's name in an edge stack. Okay, okay, landmark name. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Okay, create a new button next to the landmark's name. Use an if-else conditional statement to provide different images that indicate whether the landmark is a favorite. Okay. Okay, so here, button. Okay, button with action. Okay, open curly brackets, just like that. Okay, so the first line is self dot user data dot landmarks self dot landmark index. Okay, dot is favorite dot toggle. Okay, okay, then okay, okay, then open another pair of curly brackets, then write if self dot user data dot landmarks self dot landmarks index is favorite. Okay, then image system name, this one, okay, star dot fill, okay, foreground color will be yellow, okay, so yellow, cool, else image to be type of simply a star, okay, okay, and the foreground color will be gray, okay, cool. Okay, so switch back to landmark list .swift, okay, and turn on the live preview, okay. As you navigate from the list to the detail and tap the button, those changes persist when you return to the list because both views are accessing the same model object in the environment. The two views maintain consistency, okay, so here, okay, fine. Cool. So that's all for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. Give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe if it's not done yet. And I see you in the next lesson. Bye bye, take care and enjoy your weekend.